Breaking news. The Philadelphia Eagles are having a great time. We have a quality GM who cares about the team's growth, and that's a good thing. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and man, it's great to be able to rest easy knowing that Howie is in charge. If you agree that Howie Roseman is the best general manager in the NFL, hit that like button hard. If possible, comment like this: Go Eagles! Go Howie! Let's go to the Super Bowl again. Fly birds! Still speaking of Howie Roseman, we need to address this issue. The Eagles' general manager is making moves that could completely reshape the team's future. We're talking about a decision that directly impacts the most crucial position on the roster: quarterback. I don't know if you saw, but Kenny Pickett is out, and what the Eagles got in return could tell us everything we need to know about their long-term plans. Philadelphia has sent backup quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a 2025 fifth-round pick. Now, at first glance, this might seem like just another depth move, but let's break it down, because the implications here are huge. For starters, Pickett is headed back to the AFC North, a division he knows well from his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns, who hold the second overall pick in this year's draft, are widely expected to draft a quarterback. But what if Pickett is more than just a short-term option? Could Cleveland see him as a bridge starter in 2025 before handing the reins to their rookie quarterback? And where does that leave Deshaun Watson, who is recovering from 2 torn Achilles tendons? This trade opens up a lot of questions for the Browns, but for the Eagles it sends a message loud and clear. It's Tanner McKee time. The second-year quarterback who impressed in the preseason with his accuracy, decision-making, and ability to throw a beautiful back-shoulder ball is now firmly entrenched as Jalen Hurts' primary backup. At 6 feet 6 inches, McKee has the physical tools, and the Eagles clearly believe in his potential. Think about it. Philadelphia did not have to move Pickett. They could have kept him as insurance. Instead, they prioritized acquiring a draft pick and a young athletic quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That suggests confidence in McKee's ability to step in if anything were to happen to Hurts. And let's be honest, Eagles fans know the value of a capable backup quarterback all too well. Now, let's not overlook Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He was a dynamic playmaker at UCLA under Chip Kelly, showing flashes of brilliance but struggling to find consistency in Cleveland. However, the Eagles might see him as a developmental prospect with intriguing upside. He's mobile, has a strong arm, and could be a solid quarterback 3 in Philadelphia. This move also falls in line with the Eagles' long-standing philosophy. They call themselves a quarterback factory for a reason. We've seen how they developed Jalen Hurts, and now, with new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore and quarterbacks coach Scott Locklear in the mix, the team seems committed to grooming McKee as the next viable option. But the quarterback shuffle isn't the only headline coming out of Philly. While the Eagles haven't signed any free agents yet, they've taken some serious hits on defense. Key contributors from last year's number 1 ranked defense are gone. Isaiah Rodgers is heading to the Minnesota Vikings. Milton Williams secured a massive payday from the New England Patriots, signing a 4-year, $104 million deal with $63 million guaranteed. Darius Slay is expected to join the Pittsburgh Steelers, though the deal isn't finalized yet. Josh Sweat is off to Arizona, signing a 4-year, $76.5 million contract with $41 million guaranteed. That's a lot of talent walking out the door. Milton Williams, in particular, got a huge contract from the Patriots, $26 million per season, making him one of the highest-paid interior defensive linemen in the NFL. And let's not forget that Josh Sweat is reuniting with former Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon in Arizona. He was a key part of that dominant Eagles pass rush that recorded 70 sacks in 2022, the most in the league since the 1985 Bears. As for Darius Slay, the Eagles haven't officially released him yet, but he's been given permission to seek a trade. The expectation is that he'll land in Pittsburgh, where he'd join one of the league's top defenses. So where do the Eagles go from here? Howie Roseman clearly has a plan. He's betting on young talent to step up. Moro Ojomo replacing Milton Williams, Jackson Hunt, and Bryce Huff filling in for Josh Sweat, and Keely Ringo likely taking over for Darius Slay. And of course, the secondary will rely heavily on last year's top draft picks, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
But let's get back to the quarterback situation, because that's where this trade really makes a statement. The Eagles aren't just collecting talent, they're shaping the future of the most important position in football. So, what do you think, Eagles fans? Grade this trade A, B, C, D, or F? Did the Eagles make the right move by trading Pickett? And how do you feel about Tanner McKee stepping into the QB2 role? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it. And let's not forget, this move isn't happening in a vacuum. The Eagles are clearly thinking long-term here, and if we look at Howie Roseman's track record, this trade fits right into his strategy. He's always been a master at managing the roster, balancing immediate needs with future planning. Trading Kenny Pickett isn't just about getting a fifth-round pick and a developmental quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson. It's about clearing the path for Tanner McKee to take full control of the QB2 role while still maintaining flexibility for the future. McKee's development is now one of the most interesting storylines to watch in Philadelphia. He showed a lot of promise in limited action last season. When he got his first career start in Week 18 against the Giants, he went 27 of 41 for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And he did it with backups against New York starters. That wasn't just a fluke. His preseason performances had already turned heads, and now the Eagles are signaling that they believe in him enough to make him the primary backup to Jalen Hurts. That's a big deal. And let's be real, having a reliable backup quarterback is critical in the NFL. We've seen it time and time again, especially in Philadelphia. This is a franchise that won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles stepping in after Carson Wentz went down. Even last season, we saw injuries to Jalen Hurts affect the offense's rhythm. If something were to happen to Hurts again, the Eagles need someone who can step in and keep them competitive. They're betting that McKee can be that guy. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is also an intriguing addition. While he struggled at times in Cleveland, he has a ton of raw talent. He was a standout at UCLA under Chip Kelly, known for his dual threat ability and strong arm. His mobility adds another layer to the Eagles' quarterback room, which could be valuable if he develops in the right system. And let's not forget, being a QB3 in Philly means you're always just one injury away from being the next man up. If the Eagles can refine his skills, DTR could become a solid piece moving forward. But while the quarterback situation is looking clearer, the defense is where things get really concerning. Losing Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, and likely Darius Slay in the same offseason is no small thing. Williams was dominant in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, constantly disrupting Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. His 5 sacks last season don't even tell the full story. He was a force in the interior, creating pressure and stuffing the run. The Patriots saw his potential and threw big money at him, and honestly, the Eagles just weren't in a position to match that. Josh Sweat leaving for Arizona is another tough blow. He thrived under Jonathan Gannon when the Eagles' defense led the league in sacks in 2022, and now he's reuniting with Gannon in Arizona. The Cardinals had cap space to spend, and they saw Sweat as a perfect fit for their defense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make it any easier for Philly fans to watch him walk away. Darius Slay's situation is still a little murky, but all signs point to him joining the Steelers. That's a veteran presence gone from the secondary, which now puts a ton of pressure on young guys like Khalil Ringo and last year's draft picks, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Howie Roseman clearly believes in their ability to step up,